The stock market was plagued with short sellers and volatility going into January, and with the inauguration, things were even more volatile. Stocks like SoundHound, Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, Palantir, and SoFi took a beating. However, now is the time to look at these stocks before it's too late. Let me show you in this video why now is the best time to jump back into the stock market and start making money. Don't worry about subscribing, tapping the like button, or looking for the coaching and Discord link. We will get to that, but I want to dive into this video right now. But first, this Friday, January 31st, my free masterclass webinar returns. This Friday, January 31st, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. You will learn more in the hour you spend with me than anywhere else. That's what every student that's ever attended said. I have a huge announcement, and I'll be answering a Q&A with you guys and hanging out. You don't want to miss it. Very limited spots. Every webinar we fill up, and students are left out in the dark. Don't let that be you. Link to register is below. I look forward to seeing you there. Let's dive right in. The stock market is exhibiting bullish tendencies driven by a combination of positive economic indicators and investor sentiment. Major indices have shown resilience in the face of global economic uncertainties, buoyed by strong corporate earnings reports and steady recovery in consumer spending. Analysts point to a robust labor market and declining inflation rates as key factors that have fueled optimism among investors. Additionally, sectors such as technology and renewable energy continue to attract significant investments, reflecting a shift towards sustainable growth, innovation, and further enhancing market confidence. Moreover, the Federal Reserve's recent signals of a more accommodative monetary policy have contributed to a favorable environment for equities. With interest rates stabilizing, investors are increasingly turning to stocks as a lucrative alternative to traditional fixed income investments. Although some of the oncoming Feds are hawkish, this trend is expected to persist as business continue to adapt and innovate, positioning themselves for growth in a post-pandemic world. The combination of strong fundamentals, supportive monetary policy, and increasing optimistic outlook suggests that 2025 is poised to be a year of significant opportunity for investors. As early as 2025, recent economic data, including the Consumer Price Index, which is the CPI, and the Purchasing Managers Index, which is PMI, indicate a strengthening economic landscape in the United States. The CPI has shown signs of stabilization, with inflation rates gradually cooling down to around 2.5% as recently as December 2025 from previous peaks. This decline in inflation is pivotal as it allows consumers to regain purchasing power, thereby stimulating spending, a crucial driver of economic growth. Concurrently, the PMI has indicated expansion in the manufacturing and services, reflecting increased business activity and confidence. A PMI reading above 50 signifies growth, and recent figures have consistently suggested a robust expansion, with the latest readings hovering around 54, which bodes well for corporate earnings and overall market sentiment. These positive indicators suggest that the stock market is well positioned for a favorable year in 2025, with inflation rates stabilizing and corporate profits expected to rise. Analysts predict that equities will continue to attract investment as investors seek higher returns amidst low interest rate environments. Furthermore, the Federal Reserve's commitment to maintaining a balanced approach to monetary policy supports economic growth while keeping inflation in check. As a business adapt to changing landscape and consumer confidence rises, the outlook for the stock market is increasingly optimistic, setting the stage for a potentially prosperous year ahead for 2025. And I've been saying this. As of January 26, 2025, the economic indicators for the United States show stabilized yet positive outlook. The Consumer Price Index, the CPI, reflects an inflation rate of approximately 2.5 to 2.8%, a significant decrease from the highs seen in the previous years, indicating inflationary pressures are easing. This stabilization is crucial for maintaining consumer purchasing power and fostering economic growth. Additionally, the latest Purchasing Managers Index, Index PMI reading stands at around 54, signaling continued expansion in both manufacturing and the services sector. PMI above 50 indicates growth, and this is consistent reading suggests that businesses are experiencing increased activity and confidence in the economic environment. In terms of economic statistics, the unemployment rate is reported at a low 3.9 to 4%, reflecting a healthy labor market, while consumer confidence indexes are trending upwards, suggesting that households are optimistic about their financial situations. Retail sales have also shown a year-over-year increase of about 6%, indicating robust consumer spending. These statistics collectively depict a resilient economy poised for growth, reinforcing the positive sentiment surrounding the stock market as it moves forward into 2025. And I've explained this many times, but we're going over it again. Manufacturing PMI in the United States increased to 50.10 points in January from 49.40 points in December of 2024. Manufacturing PMI in the United States is expected to be 51 points by the end of this quarter, according to Trading Economics Global macro models and analyst expectations. Inflation has fallen from 3.9% to 2.5% since January of 2024. It spiked up to 2.9% of this month. However, with all other indicators pointing to inflation dropping like a rock, it's likely the next two reports will show lower numbers. The economy is set to boom for 2025, and if things keep going the way they are right now, you'll wish that you had gotten in before it's too late. Let's dive into some of the stocks that you really need to take a look at right now before it's too late. Things are looking really good for 2025, and no, this is not a top 5 to buy stock list. I will have that video coming out for you guys very soon. Before we hit the next part of this video, if you guys are looking to grow your portfolio, maybe you're a beginner, maybe you're just getting started, maybe you want to retire early, you can see on the screen all my students' profits over the last 5 months, 200, 300, even 400% gains. I would love to help you guys. You can sign up at investwithcorey.com. The link's in the information box below, but don't take my word for it. Let's take a listen to what my students, Josh and Shane, had to say.
Anyone who's thinking about joining, is anyone can do this. It's just really like putting in the work and the effort to meet Corey halfway, but he will definitely get you there. I started with about $300,000 portfolio. Initially saw about between 60 and 70,000 within my first 6 weeks, which I was very excited about. So now I'm really excited to share that I've grown that $300,000 portfolio to well over 500,000. I'm definitely reaping the rewards now. Don't wait. I honestly can't thank Corey enough.
When I first started off with options, I knew nothing at all. Corey's program broke it down into very simple steps. Corey broke them down where it was nice and simple, and I was like, oh, okay, I totally understand that now.
How much are you up since the start of joining my program?
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I'll give you the exact number. Let me bring it up. On average, I was making about $2,200 a month day trading. That was average. In the very first month that I started actually selling options, it jumped up to 14K. And right now in December, I'm already up 6.4 thousand.
You went from day trading to my course, and you were able to go from 2,200 to 14K.
Correct. And I'm up 165% right now.
If someone was trying to decide between my program or another Discord, what would your direct and short message to them be?
Corey's program will save you time and make you money. That's the bottom line right there.
What would you tell someone who is skeptical about learning from someone online like myself?
I bought into multiple different programs. From my experience, Corey's is the safest, very consistent and profitable.
How long did it take you to actually make back the cost of joining the Discord?
From the time I started trading, I made my money back in 2 weeks, 10 days. If you want to count the actual trading days, 10 days. And then I just looked at it and I was like, holy cow. I'm like, I just made $14,000 this month. I'm like, that's like crazy. And, just 1 month, it blew away, almost my entire year of day trading.
What did you start off with in my program? Total capital portfolio. And what are you at now with profits?
Started off with roughly 50,000. I had 25-ish already in stocks. And now I'm up to 75,000.
So you heard what my students Josh and Shane had to say. This could be your testimonial as well. I'm driven every single day to help my students just like you achieve their financial goals and freedoms. Go to investwithcorey.com, click on training, watch this video. It's got very important information. Then book a call with my team and I so that we can gear up to help you reach your financial goals. And I look forward to speaking with you very soon. So like I said, guys, the market is poised to run pretty well in 2025. SPY has got a price target of 670 by the end of the year. I do believe there'll be some pullbacks throughout the year. There's always 2 or 3 pullbacks of 2 to 3%. And we usually have at least one decent pullback of 8 to 10%. A lot of the times the pullbacks happen in August, October, and sometimes in November. Typically, spring months coming out of the winter are strong. And generally speaking, February is always a pretty strong month, considering January is always pretty much a weak month, historically speaking. But when we sit here and look at the SPY, we can see that it's reached an all-time high. I feel like SPY is going to truck on through to around 611 to 620 in the coming weeks, and then possibly pull back yet again. We do see that SPY did run up to 610, 611, and then it pulled back to 607, and this happened on Friday. Now you can see I did these arrows on the chart last Thursday or last Wednesday, and the stock or the ETF pretty much did exactly what I said it would do, and it bounced off of this support area. So it's likely in the coming weeks that we're going to see SPY run back to 612 or 620. I say by the end of February, going into March, 620 is very, very probable and very likely. I have 5 stocks that you need to buy before February. If you want to see that video and you've made it this far, put that comment below right away so that I know you want to see it. In any case, some of the stocks right now that are going to benefit are Walmart, AMD, Snowflake, Meta, Tesla, Palantir, MicroStrategy. Netflix is already geared up. We have Apple that's going to do well, SoFi, SoundHound, a lot of good stocks. The SPY is going to run QQQ. It's a very strong market that we are in right now. And a lot of people think, oh, it's bearish or we're going to have major pullbacks or a market crash. Think about the stock market. The stock market is over 200 years old. In fact, it started in May of 1792, which was 17 years after our independence. The market is very old, and there's only really truly been 4 historical events of severe bearish territory. We had 2008, we had 2022, which was pretty bad. We've only had a handful of bearish sentiments or bearish times in the stock market. There was once back in the 1950s. There was also one in 2001, and there was one in 2008. And then, of course, there was another scare in 2013, I believe it was. So this is something that happens. But we don't spend a lot of time in bearish territory. In fact, if you look at the stock market over the past 200 plus years, we spend more than 95% moving upwards. So if something's been moving upwards 95% of the time, why are you worried about the 5%? Even if we go into bearish territory and have a pullback for 6 months or 8 months, why would you concern yourself with a 6-month pullback when after that fact, we're probably going to have 15 years of bullish run? It's just the history of the way the stock market works. Yet you have all these pessimists that will come out and they'll say, oh, well, we're going to have bearish territory in the stock market. We're going to tank. We're going to pull back. Okay, sure. We pull back for a month or two and then we run for another year. It just doesn't make any sense. There's always going to be some risk of a pullback here or there and some bearish sentiment here and there in small sprinkled amounts. But overall, the market goes up. Anything that you invested in 2000, you'd be up right now. Anything that you invested in 10 to 15 years ago, you'd be up. Most things that you invested in a year ago right now, you'd be up, with the exception of bad companies. And there's a few exceptions to every rule, of course. But for the most part, any good company that you invested in a year ago, 6 months ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, doesn't matter. All good companies over time eventually make their way up. So that's what I'm telling you right now. And for the next 3 to 4 years or 5 years, we are in a very big boom with AI, as well as tech and NVIDIA, Microsoft, Meta, AMD, Google, and Tesla. These companies are going to have mega growth. Palantir, SoundHound, SoFi, these companies as well are going to grow. Companies like Serve Robotics have the ability to potentially have a 10 or a 20x in the next 3 to 5 years. The stock market is going to do well in 2025 and is likely to do exponentially well in the coming 1 to 5 years, just based off of everything we've discussed in this video, including AI and growth. Remember, guys, my free masterclass webinar this Friday, January 31st, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. You will want to be there. Do not miss out. Very limited spots. Click the link below. I have a huge announcement and a Q&A during this webinar. Click the link below to register right away before it's too late. You can also sign up for my Discord training course and coaching at investorcorey.com. Links in the information box below. I will see you guys on the next video, or I will see you guys on the next upload. Take care of yourselves.